Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to this video, guys. My name is Liaquat Zaman. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. This is Roots of Knowledge. Check out the videos that I make, guys. I'm sure there's going to be something that you guys like. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and share the videos with others. Jazakumullah khair. Right, so let's get on with this series. And this series is dedicated to helping those of you guys who are really interested in understanding Arabic poetry. And because we're going through the Diwan of Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, it's probably one of the best places to actually start off. He says, خَلِيلَيَّ لَا وَاللَّهِ مَا مِن مُلِمَّةٍ تَدُومُ عَلَى حَيٍّ وَإِنْ هِيَ جَلَّتِي فَإِنْ نَزَلَتْ يَوْمًا فَلَا تَخْضَعَنْ لَهَا وَلَا تُكْثِرِ الشَّكْوَى إِذَا النَّعْلُ زَلَّتِي فكم من كريم يبتلى بنوائب فصابرها حتى مضت واضمحلتي. خليلية. Khalil is basically your very close friend, like your best buddy, the one who is the closest to you from everyone else. He says, Khalilayya, oh my dear two friends. So Khalil, it's a bit strange. So let's say you're going on a journey and you're with someone. Usually the Arabs, when they would be addressing in poetry their companions, they would address them as two people. Two. Now some say, why two? Is this, for example, like you're talking to yourself and you're talking to another person? Is that how you're addressing it? So there's like a whole discussion about this. But the point is that when they are making this kind of an addressing, it is actually in reference to two people. Khalilayya, two. Because Khalilun is one, and the dual is Khalilani. And then when you add ya of mansub nisbah, you say Khalilayya. Okay, Khalilayya. So he says, Khalilayya, oh my dear two best buddies, friends that I can divulge and tell anything to. And in fact, in the Quran, Allah mentions the word Khalil. If you guys know where that is, put it in the comments below. La wallahi ma min mulimmatin. La wallahi. No, by Allah. So la wallahi here would be in reference to, let's say, saying, rejecting something that had already been said. So you kind of try to figure out what was already said that he could be rejecting here. So la wallahi, by Allah. Ma min mulimmatin. Ma, no, laysa. Min, this min is what we call min zaida or min bayaniya. Mulimmatin alamma yulimmu is from the word lamam. Lamam means something that is temporary, that temporarily occurs. Yeah, illa lamam in the Quran. So lamma is like, limmatun. In fact, even hair is actually called, there's the hair that actually comes down below your ears, hits your neck or hits your shoulders. For the men, it's called a limma. Yeah, so wafratun wa limmatun, because it kind of like, it's like hits. So mulimma alamma yulimmu ilmam, it means like to just touch upon something. Massa yamussu, like. So Khalilayya, oh my two dear friends, listen. Ya Khalilayya, oh my dear two friends. La wallahi ma min mulimmatin. By Allah, there is no calamity that befalls. So mulimma here would be in reference to something bad happening. Ma min mulimma. Ma min mulimmatin, there is no mulimma, there is no hardship or difficulty or trial or test. Tadumu, dama yadumu, that prolongs, that continues, da'iman. Ala hayyin, upon a living human being, a living individual. A living individual does not experience a calamity that hits them which continues day in, day out, week in, week out, non-stop. No, that's never ever happened historically. وَإِنْ هِيَ جَلَّتِي. وَإِنْ, wow here is what we call wow wasliya. Yeah, and it's basically translated as even if. وَإِنْ, even if here it, the mulimma is jallati. Jalla yajillu, it means to be great. Jalal, jalil, jalil al-qadr. So jallati, it's actually jallat. But if you remember in one of the poems previously, I mentioned about this sort of like at the end when they finish off with a T. Right, it's just there so it helps the poem flow. But technically it would actually be jallat. وَإِنْ هِيَ jallat. Even if it is magnificent, even if it is great and it is really, really big. That calamity, the hardship, the illness you're going through, the family problems you're going through, the financial problems you're going through only lasts for a short time compared to your entire life. فَإِن نَزَلَتْ يَوْمًا فَلَا تَخْضَعَنْ لَهَا إِن نَزَلَتْ. So when the calamity befalls, إِن نَزَلَتْ. So when the calamity comes down, befalls, goes down. And generally, when calamities are discussed, the Arabs always say it came down, like as though it wasn't there before, but just like a thunderstorm, right? Or like a tornado or something that just comes down from the sky. That's how they kind of describe calamities. It's a very nice way as well of trying to look at the way the natural world also plays an important role, how it shapes their mind in seeing difficulties. فَإِن نَزَلَتْ يَوْمًا. So if it comes down, if it befalls one day, فَلَا تَخْضَعَنْ لَهَا. خَضَعَ يَخْضَعُ. It means to lower, to become almost like subservient, to become someone who is in submission to someone else. خَاضِع. So if you, in fact, in the Quran, this word appears several times. So if you guys can find a few times where this word خَاضَعَ appears in the Quran, put it in the comments below and tell me what it means in each of the ayahs that you find. So فَلَا تَخْضَعَنْ لَهَا. So this noon at the end in sarf is what we call noon khafifa, right? It's actually a noon that's brought to give emphasis, right? To give ta'keed, right? So emphasis, emphatic. So it's like saying, absolutely do not humble yourself, laha. Do not belittle yourself. Do not lower yourself, laha, for it. Meaning stand straight. Take it as it comes to you. فَإِن نَزَلَتْ يَوْمًا. And if it befalls one day, فَلَا تَخْضَعَنْ لَهَا. Do not humble and do not lower yourself for it. وَلَا تُكْثِرِ الشَّكْوَى. And do not excessively make shakwa. Shakwa means complain. So akthara yukthiru, it means to be excessive in something, to do something excessively, to do something a lot. So do not make lots of shakwa. So for example, this is a very nice Arab sort of like expression that you find often. Akthartu min al-kalam. In the Quran as well. Ya Nuhu qad aktharta jidalana. So aktharta jidal. Aktharta yukthiru ikthar. To make excessive. So لا تكثر الشكوى. Make complain. Shakwa means to complain. Shaka yashku. You've probably heard of this word as well. If you know in the Quran as well where this word appears, right? Because remember, I always try to bring you guys back to the Quran. That's the essence that we want to try and really understand. So لا تكثر الشكوى. Do not emphatically, do not excessively rather, make shakwa, make complain. Right? You can make it now and again, but don't make it like habitually. Like, sometimes you have that individual in your company who just always complains about anything, every single time. إِذَا النَّعْلُ. So إِذَا here means when, hina. And na'lu, na'al means slippers or shoes or footwear. And na'al is feminine, by the way, okay? Right, so it's a feminine word. Zalla yazillu, it means to slip. Zallati, and this word has come before many times in the poetry. So إِذَا النَّعْلُ, when slippers slide. So what does it mean when slippers slide? Meaning when the calamities happen. So, Arabs are giving or Sayyidina Ali is giving a sort of like image of a person walking down a road and it's a bit slippery or icy or whatever and they slip and fall down. So calamities can do that to a person as well. Calamities can actually make a person fall, right? And illness can make a person fall from their normal routine or, hardships that a person faces. All of us go through difficulties in time. May Allah make things easy for us if we're going through difficulties at the moment. But he wants to kind of create this. لا تكثر الشكوى. Listen. He says, لا تكثر الشكوى. Do not excessively make shakwa when the feet slip. So when bad things happen and you fall, don't make too much shakwa. Have a bit of sabr. فَكَمْ مِنْ كَرِيمٍ يُبْتَلَى بِنَوَائِبٍ. كَمْ مِنْ كَرِيمٍ. How many noble people are out there, yubtala binawaibin, who have been tested, tried and tested. Ibtala, yabtali, ibtila, and this word has come before as well. In the Quran, many times you probably heard this word, and if you can find it, put it in the comments. Kam min karimin. Kam here means khabariya. Like so many. كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله. كم من كريم, how many noble, honorable people have there been on earth? Yubtala, who have been tested. Binawaib, nawaib is the jam of na'ibatun. Naba, yanubu, it means something that takes the place of another. And nawaib means calamities, because calamities, it's like one calamity has gone and all of a sudden, a few days later, another calamity comes. It's like they're kind of on a rota taking turns. So the Arabs call calamities nawaib as well. Mulimma, the way it falls, nawaib, the way it kind of, it's a nice way of how Arabs see things, right? So if you kind of collect all these words that Arabs use for difficulties and hardships, you can actually build a very amazing picture of how they perceive things. فَكَمْ مِنْ كَرِيمٍ, how many noble people are out there, يُبْتَلَى, who have been tested, بِنَوَائِب, with multiple calamities. فَصَابَرَهَا, صَابَرَ يُصَابِرُ, it's actually from the bab فَعَلَ يُفَاعِلُ مُفَاعَلَةً. It's got some more excessive meaning in there, right? So sabr, you know what that means? It means to control yourself when you're going through difficulties, put some restraints on your emotions so you don't lash out on everyone. And sabara is from fa'ala yufa'ilu, which actually has an emphatic meaning, right? It's like you're kind of challenging it, you're grappling with it. So do continuous sabara, like persistent sabr, consistent sabr do with the calamities. Like imagine you're walking in a strong wind and you're pushing forward and you're doing sabara, musabara. And in the Quran as well, isbiru wa sabiru wa rabitu. Yeah, sabiru. So not just have sabr, but you have to have this kind of like training sabr. You got to go to the sabr gym. Yeah, you haven't heard that one before, have you? And if you like that one, put it in the comments as well. The sabr gym you have to go to. Hatta madat wadhmahallati, until madha yamdi, madat, feminine, until the mulimma or the nawaib have disappeared, madat gone, yeah, past, or wadhmahallat, or vanished. Idhmahalla means when you add something, when you add one of those tablets to water and it all disappears, that's called idhmihlal. Yeah, idhmahalla, yadhmahillu, idhmihlalan. So it means when something just disperses and vanishes eventually. So he's saying either the calamity is just going to pass, right? It's just like a storm going past, or it's there but it's slowly dying out, becoming diluted, and eventually gone, finished. You guys, are just a beautiful poem. What do you guys think? You like the poem? I like the poem a lot. Now some of the versions of this poem I've actually added some extra lines on here, but I'm not going to go into those lines. I think this is just sufficient. With the ones, the one of the versions that I have, so I think I'll just stick to this. But if you want to, there's actually another extra wording. وَكَانَتْ عَلَى الْأَيَّامِ نَفْسِي عَزِيزَةً فَلَمَّا رَأَتْ صَبْرِي عَلَى الذُّلِّ ذَلَّتِي. Yeah, so كَانَتْ عَلَى الْأَيَّامِ نَفْسِي عَزِيزَةٌ. My nafs was azizatun ala al-ayyam. Ayyam here referring to difficulties and hardships, and aziza, it means like it was really taken care of. It was very precious. فَلَمَّا رَأَتْ صَبْرِي, when it saw my sabr, ala dhul, so when the hardship saw my sabr, or when the calamity saw my sabr, ala dhulli dhallat, the calamities disappeared. Yeah, they kind of like humbled themselves. Dhalil, they became humiliated. Anyway, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to focus on this. So let's just look at some nice expressions here. So for example, khalilayya is a nice one. In fact, interesting point. Although he's addressing two people, they could be fictitious people. Like in songs where a person is singing a song about a man or about a woman or about individual, and they don't really exist. It's just a fictitious individual, an imaginary individual that they have conjured up in their mind, and the lyrics are basically talking about them, and that individual doesn't even exist on earth. So this is one of those styles as well. Khalilayya, oh my two dear friends. So there's not really two dear friends there, but it's like he's kind of like using this style of Arabs where they address two individuals. Khalilayya, oh my dear. La wallahi ma min mulimmatin. Meaning, you think that the calamities, when you're hit with a calamity, you think that's it. My life is over. I'm going through so much hardship in life. No. Ma min mulimmatin. There is no hardship, no difficulty in life. Tadumu ala hay. That is persistent and continues over a living person, even if that calamity is massive, like a mountain. فَإِن نَزَلَتْ يَوْمًا, and if it does befall one day, فَلَا تَخْضَعَنْ لَهَا, listen. Now notice over here, he's using a single. He doesn't say, لا تخضعان. He doesn't use the dual. So he says, لا تخضعان, do not, oh you. So he's talking to single now. And then this is iltifat in balagha. If you guys are interested in balagha, I have 2 courses on balagha on my uruk.com, where I go through the balagha only in the Quran. That's it. Focusing on the Quran so that you can appreciate the expressions used in the Quran. فَلَا تَخْضَعَنْ لَهَا, then do not تخضع, do not humble yourself to it. وَلَا تُكْثِرِ الشَّكْوَى, and number 2, do not excessively make complaints about it. إِذَا النَّعْلُ, especially when the shoes slip, meaning especially when you really kind of can't take it anymore and it overpowers you. فَكَمْ مِنْ كَرِيمٍ, how many noble, honorable people have there been in history, يُبْتَلَى بِنَوَائِبٍ, who have been tested with calamities, فَصَابَرَهَا, and then this individual has grappled with it patiently, حَتَّى مَضَتْ, until the calamity disappeared, وَاضْمَحَلَّتْ, went by or vanished. Okay, so again, لا والله ما من ملمة, that's a nice expression as well. يا أخي ما من ملمة, ما من كتاب إلا أحببت قراءته وإن هي جلت جل هذا الأمر في عيني. Yeah, this matter became really big in my eyes. نزلت هذه الملمة في كذا وكذا. This ملمة had occurred regarding such and such. لا تكثر الشكوى يا أخي, إذا النعل زلت النعل وشكى زيد إلى القاضي. كم من كريم يبتلى بنا, كم من أخ يتوب إلى الله إذا أذنب. Yeah. Anyway, so you guys can practice with those words. Very, very rich. The poetry is very rich in words and expressions and how things are said as well. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let's do a little bit of Arabic now. يقول سيدنا علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه, خليلي يا خليلي يا خليلي يا صاحبي, لا والله ما من ملمة, يعني لا, ليس الأمر كما ظننتما, بل ما من مصيبة, ما من كارثة تدوم تبقى لمدة طويلة على حي, على شخص حي, يعني يمشي على وجه الأرض. يعني ما وجدت في تاريخ أي مصيبة نزل بأحد وبقي معه إلى أن مات, لا. وإن هي جلتي, وإن كانت هذه المصيبة كبيرة جدا, كبرت, فإن نزلت يوما, إذا أصيب يوما شخص فلا تخضعن لها. فأنت يا أخي لا تجعل نفسك ذليلا أمامه, لا تستسلم لهذه المصيبة, بل ترفع نفسك وتقوم وتقاومها, ولا تكثر الشكوى, ولا تشتكي كثيرا. نعم, إذا كنت تحتاج إلى شكوى حين بعد حين فلا بأس, ولكن لا تجعل هذا دأبا فيك. إذا النعل زلتي, عندما تزل النعل, عندما القدم تفشل, عندما يعني يسقط الإنسان الأرض. فكم من كريم, كم من شخص شريف يشار إليه بالبنان في قومه, يبتلى بنوائب, يصاب, يعاني بنوائب, بمصائب, فصابرها, فقاومها بالصبر. نعم. حتى مضت, حتى ذهبت, واضمحلت, ولم يبق منه شيء. سبحان الله, كيف سيدنا علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه يعني يكشف له حقيقة المصائب عندنا, وحقيقة كلنا قد ابتلينا بشيء من مصائب, سواء كان مصيبة في الصحة أو في المال أو في الأهل أو في مهما يكن. لكن الإنسان عندما يصاب بشيء يحسب أن هذه المصيبة أصابه وحده فقط, ولم يصب أحد على وجه الأرض بمثل هذا. والحقيقة أن هذه المصائب هي من الله سبحانه وتعالى, يعني قد ينزل على هذا وقد ينزل على ذاك. نعم. ولكن هناك طريقة المعاملة برجل, يعني كيف يتعامل إذا أصيب بشيء. فالأول أن لا يخضع لها، يعني لا يتجمد. في كثير من الناس يتوقفون عن العمل، يتعطلون كل شيء، يبقون في بيوتهم أو في السرير ولا يعمل شيء، يصبح حزينا جدا. لا يفعل هذا، لا يخضع لها. والثاني لا تكثر الشكوى، يعني لا تجعل نفسك دائما تشكو دائما، حتى الناس يملون منك. فهناك أيضا أمثال رجال ونساء صالحين صالحات ما شاء الله، يصابرون، عندما يصاب بشيء يتوجهون إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى، ويعرفون جيدا بأن كل مصيبة إذا نزل سيذهب، لا يبقى، سيذهب. نسأل الله تعالى أن يعافينا. جزاكم الله خير. Thank you very much guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions or anything, please leave in the comments below. Thank you to all my beautiful patrons. May Allah bless all of you people and put loads of barakah in your wealth and your health and your time. If anyone wants to support my channel, guys, please consider it. Or if you know anyone else that wants to support work like this, it means a lot to me. It helps me out a lot. And all these videos that I make, so all the people that are watching it out there free of charge, and the benefit that they're gaining is something which you can be a part of that sadaqah al-jari as well. Alright guys, I will see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.